that then. Good afternoon, everybody, and citizens of Glen County and Glen County staff. Welcome to the Finance Committee meeting agenda for the Glen County Board of Commissioners this Tuesday, November the 23rd, 2021. We'll begin by number one, to hear a motion or any issues for accepting the agenda as it is, to add or defer any items.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the agenda as is.
All right. Second to that, and the aye, Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
And
I see David's in here now.
Dave just came up.
Mute.
You're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
We just did number one, David. You can go now.
All right, number two, consider approving October 26, 2021 Finance Committee minutes. Gentlemen, any comments?
Any comments? I don't have any.
All right, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the October 26, 2021 Finance Committee meetings.
I second that.
All right, we have a motion for item number two and a second. Or any further discussion? No further discussion. All will signal by saying aye.
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 Aye. That's 3-0 on that. Item number three, consider canceling the December 7th, 2021 Finance Committee meeting and adding a special called Finance Committee meeting for December 14th, 2021 at 3 p.m. Ms. Munson.
This was just requested by a couple of the commissioners. So if the committee wishes to move forward, we are willing to change the date for you.
All right, I think we've got a couple of conflicts with that date, and also it comes right on pretty much right behind this meeting. So I think it would give us another week and staff another week to make sure that everything's in place for the meeting. Any other comments, commissioners?
That's for December the 14th, right?
December the 14th at 3 p.m.
All right.
Can I get a motion?
I move to cancel the December 7th, 2021 Finance Committee meeting and add a special call Finance Committee meeting for December 14th, 2021 at 3 p.m.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I got a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any other discussion? If not, we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn? Yes, 3-0. That meeting, item 3 passes 3-0. Item 4, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize payment of the excess tax proceeds for the tax sale of parcel number 04-11763 in the amount of $14,446.54 to Welchel McClegg LLC on behalf of Gary M. Sparks. Mr. Wilbanks or Mr. Worley.
Yes, we're handing this one and the next one for Mr. Wilbanks. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the tax overage claims that we get and process on behalf of the tax commissioner. Both item 4 and item 5 are the same claimant for two properties that are neighboring properties. Tax sales occurred some time ago. Welchel and McQuigg have provided a title opinion stating that these are the folks that were the owners of the property at the time of the tax sale, which under Georgia law, the folks who are entitled to the overage funds. They've submitted an affidavit to back up their claims. And so with those assurances, we're recommending that you authorize payment of this tax overage in the amount of $14,446.54 to Welchel McQuigg. And we're making a similar recommendation on item 5 when you get to that one as well.
You're muted again, David.
Sorry. Talking about item 4, commissioners, any other comments regarding it? All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize the payment of the excess tax proceeds from the tax sale of parcel number 04-11763 in the amount of $14,446 $46.54 to Welch and McQuigg LLC in care of or FBO Gary M. Sparks.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion, commissioners? All right, we'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Aye.
Commissioner Fendig.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Quinn. Aye. Item number 4 passes 3-0. Item number 5, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize payment of the excess tax proceeds from the tax sale of parcel number 04-11762 in the amount of $6,381.65 to Welchel McQuaig LLC on behalf of Gary M. Sparks. Mr. Worley, you touched on this a second ago. You want to finish it up?
Yes, sir. So this is a neighboring property to the one you just approved. Same claimants. They were the owners of both properties at the time of the tax sale. Again, we've got a title opinion from Mr. McQuigg, and we have affidavits in support of the claim. And so we're again recommending that you approve this claim.
Commissioners, any questions?
No, sir.
We have a motion.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize the payment of the excess tax proceeds from the tax sale of parcel number 04-11762 in the amount of $6,381.65 to Welchel McQuigg LLC FBO Gary M. Sparks.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Rafalski for item number 5, a second by Commissioner Fendig. We'll have any further discussion. I'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item number 5 passes 3-0. Item 6, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the animal control modular building be declared surplus and sold. Mr. Alston.
Commissioners, Dave Austin here. Good afternoon. You may remember this triple wide modular building used to be located at Public Works. We moved it out to Animal Control, give them 2,000 square foot of space out there to use in their transition as we work towards the new Animal Control facility or Animal Services building. They've moved into the new Animal Services building. I don't have another department or anybody else in the county that wants this 2,000 square foot modular building. So my recommendation to the board would be to declare it surplus and try to sell it because the longer it sits, unattended housing and buildings, if they're sitting unattended, don't do well. So we'd rather move it along and let somebody else use it.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
No, sir.
David, the old facility, is it still, it's secured and gated, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the animal control modular building be declared surplus and sold.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Rafalski for item number 6, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Roll call, Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 6 passes 3-0. Item 7, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order utilizing Georgia statewide contract to Wade Ford, Inc., 3860 South Cobb Drive, Smyrna, Georgia, 30080 in the amount of $134,058 for the purchase of purchase of 3 2022 Ford Expedition SSV in the amount of $89,372 provided by the FY22 fire fund budget, and $44,000 be provided by the FY22 emergency medical services budget. Chief Jordan.
Yes, Commissioners, this request is to replace 3 of our front run vehicles. They're staff vehicles, they are response vehicles, all with approximately 170 to 180,000 miles on them, moving from pickup trucks into SUVs, enclosed space to store equipment. Two of these will be for fire. One of them will be for the division chief of EMS.
In the past, when we have these replacements, Chief, we talk about the county matrix. I assume these fit within the county matrix for replacement?
They were approved. The county matrix for this, I'm not familiar with why we had pickup trucks. They were approved by I'm going to assume Public Works as well as the county commission or the budget committee.
Budget committee, put it in the budget. Commissioners, any comments, questions?
Chief, I thought when we talked about this, didn't we talk about these being used as like the emergency vehicle that goes instead of sending an engine with an ambulance, the medic 1, medic 2, whatever?
Commissioner, you will see that request at the next finance committee meeting. It'll be a replacement vehicle, so it's under federal funding, and we could not use state contract. We've had trouble getting bids on that, but that will be coming up in the very next commission meeting. These are the vehicles for the division chiefs in charge of the divisions that operate, and they will be used. They may be used as backups to Medic 1.
Yeah, that was just my question. Were we going to use any of these for that purpose? I'm good. Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order utilizing Georgia statewide contract to Wade Ford, 3860 South Cobb Drive, Smyrna, Georgia, 30080, in the amount of $134,058 for the purchase of 3 Ford
Second.
Edition SUVs in the amount of $89,372 to be provided by the FY22 Fire Fund budget and $44,686 to be provided by the FY22 Emergency Medical Services budget. Those are 2022 vehicles. I'm sorry.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second here.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig on item number 7. Any further discussion, gentlemen? All right, take a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 7 passes 3-0. Item 8, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize payment to the Georgia Department of Public Health in the amount of $16,500 for annual renewal of the Emergency Medical Services License with funding provided by the FY22 Emergency Medical Services Fund. Chief Jordan.
Yes, sir, Commissioners. These are for the permits for the 10 ambulances that we operate. 7 frontline, 3 reserves. It's required by the State Department of Health to have them licensed to be able to operate.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
None.
Do we have a motion?
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize payment to the Georgia Department of Public Health in the amount of $16,500 for the annual renewal of the Emergency Medical Service License with funding provided by the FY22 Emergency Medical Services Fund.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, item 8 has a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion, Commissioners? If not, we'll take a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item number 8 passes 3-0. Item number 9, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the First Amendment to the contract for the Medical Director's Services of Todd Lucas, MD, to increase the monthly fee by 2% with funding provided by the FY22 and FY23 Emergency Medical Service budgets. Chief Jordan.
Yes, sir. Our medical director is contracted to provide medical direction to our EMS and to our firefighters. He also authorizes the license of all and the purchase of all AEDs throughout the county. This in particular, when we originally negotiated with Dr. Lucas, we had about 38% of the fire department was EMS licensed. We today are about just shy of 90% of our people are licensed EMS professionals. So he has a greater liability with the additional people, and a new change in the scope of practice for EMS requires at least emergency responder certification for use of a Lucas device. So that this will present him with 2% per year. In essence, a COLA raise, but it fixed at 2%. Commissioner Fendig, you're muted.
You're muted, Cap. Mute.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes,
We ain't got
Okay.
that yet. Hang on.
sorry. Hold on.
All right, commissioners, any questions or comments?
This is basically the doctor that oversees our EMS service, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No
And
questions.
it's a 2% annual or 2%?
2% annual.
Okay. All right, commissioners, do we have a motion?
Well, it says increase the monthly fee by 2%. Do we need to change that to annual?
The intent was annual. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I got
Ms.
you.
Munson, do you have an opinion on that? Is it 2% annual, 2% monthly?
So it'll go up 2% per month every year. So like next year, he'll get a 2% increase. And then the year after that, it'll go up another 2%. So it says 2% monthly, but what that means, because he gets paid monthly, so it's 2% over the preceding year per month.
It's going to end up being the same amount because it's a flat. He gets paid a flat fee. So whether it's 2% on the monthly fee or 2% on the annual fee, it'll be the same.
Okay. Do we have a motion, commissioners?
Yes, sir. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the First Amendment to the contract for the Medical Director Services of Todd M. Lucas, MD, to increase the monthly fee by 2% with funding to be provided by the FY22 and FY23 Emergency Medical Services budget.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I guess we need to make clarification sure about the monthly fee versus the annual.
All right, so
I'm just double checking on that.
I think Tamara did it, Cap. She said, he's going to get a 2% raise a year, but he gets paid monthly. So I guess it's semantics, maybe. I guess I don't.
We're not going to raise it 2% every month.
Every month. It's just one time.
It's going to be an increase of 2% to his monthly payment for the entire year. So it's a 2% annual increase divided by 12 months.
Okay, let's state it that way.
All right. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the First Amendment to the contract for the Medical Service Director of Todd Lucas, MD, to increase the annual fee by 2% with funding to be provided by the FY22 and FY23 Emergency Medical Services budget.
The second.
all right, any further discussion? All right, we'll take a roll call on number 9. Commissioner Falsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item number 9 passes 3-0. Number 10, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order in the amount of not to exceed $45,000 to Next Air, a single source provider for medical grade oxygen and cylinder rentals for FY22 with funding to be provided by the FY22 Emergency Medical Services budget. Chief Jordan.
Yes, Commissioners, this is the emergency medical oxygen that we utilized on the ambulance service and the fire trucks. What this doesn't recommend, what this doesn't state, is we are in the process of purchasing an oxygen generating trailer. We will be purchasing cylinders of our own, and we will not have this expense hopefully next year. As it stands right now, parts for the trailer are a bit of an issue trying to get them.
All right, commissioners, any comments, questions?
That was going to be my question, Chief. I thought we had bought the trailer, but it's a parts problem now.
It's a parts problem now. When it does come in, take us about a month to get it in service. I truthfully don't expect to spend the $45,000. We have incurred expenses to date for the oxygen, but I do not expect to spend this $45,000.
All right, do we have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order in the amount next year as a single source provider for medical grade oxygen and cylinder rentals for FY22 be provided by the FY22 emergency medical service budgets.
Motion, do we have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Foskey, a second by Commissioner Finley. Any further discussion? All right, a roll call. Commissioner Foskey. Commissioner Finley.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn, yes. Item 10 passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Chief. Item 11, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order utilizing Georgia State contract to Wade Ford of Smyrna, Georgia, in the amount of $344,765 for the purchase of 10 Ford Explorer pursuit vehicles with funding provided by the FY22 Police Fund. Chief Evans.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. This is a request for us to purchase the 10 Ford Explorer pursuit vehicles. It was noted that we were trying to purchase Dodge Chargers, but for some reason, due to the mechanical and availability issues, we had to go with the Ford Explorer pursuit vehicles. Like you said, it'll be in the amount of $344,765.
All right, Commissioners, any questions or comments?
When we were buying the Chargers, weren't they about in the same range?
Yes, sir. I think the Fords are actually, I think they may be a little bit cheaper.
That's what I thought. I thought the other was 380.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm good, David. Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order utilizing Georgia State contract to Wade Ford of Smyrna, Georgia, in the amount of $344,765 for the purchase of 10 Ford Explorer pursuit vehicles with funding to be provided by FY22 Police Fund.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that with a great understanding that our supply market and parts market is in disastrous shape.
Well, you know, there's another thing too. I understand the Chargers stayed broken down as much as they did on the road. There was a problem with something in I don't remember what they told me at Fleet, but there was a part that they were down all the time.
The radiator fan.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some challenges with the Challengers. Chargers.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Foskey, a second by Commissioner Findig. Call the roll. Commissioner Foskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Findig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 11 passes 3-0. Item 12, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the real and personal property corrections and exemptions as recommended by the Board of Assessors and the Chief Appraiser at their Thursday, September 23rd, 2021 meeting, with clarification that this does not approve a tax refund. Ms. Ward.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. What we have today is both our real and personal property corrections and value changes that were on our Board of Assessors September 23rd agenda that we are requesting for approval.
All right, Commissioners, upon review, you have any questions or comments?
No, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the real and personal property corrections and exemptions as recommended by the Board of Assessors and the Chief Appraiser at their Thursday, September 23rd, 2021 meeting, with clarification that this does not approve a tax refund.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Findig. Any further discussion? All right, roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Findig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn. Yes. Item number 12 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Item 13, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 ARPA Tech grant and authorize a revenue and expenditure increase in the amount of $7,139 for the Marshes of Glen Libraries for the funding provided by the Georgia Public Library Service. Ms. Mullis.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. We got money.
Your smile made my day.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Well, we got some tech money to buy some new computers for the library. No match needed.
Way to go. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
None whatsoever. I have a motion, sir.
Go ahead.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 ARPA Tech Grant and authorize a revenue and expenditure increase of $7,139 for the Marshes of Glen Libraries with the funding to be provided by the Georgia Public Library Service.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll take a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 13 passes 3-0. Item 14, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 American Rescue Plan Grants Program for Take 5 and authorize a revenue and expenditure increase in the amount of $34,470 for the Marshes of Glen Libraries with the funding to be provided by the Institute of Museum and Library Services.
Dude, we got a lot of money.
All right.
So this was a ARPA grant again, and this one we did have to have some match, but we were able to do that through salaries as well as there's about $4,000 to $5,000 of private money.
Wonderful. Commissioners, any comments or questions? We have a motion.
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 American Rescue Plan Grants Program for Take 5 and authorize a revenue and expenditure increase in the amount of $34,470 for the Marshes of Glen Libraries with the funding to be provided by the Institute of Museum and Library Services.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion, gentlemen? All right, we'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 14 passes 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Mullis.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Item 15, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the 2021 Performance Partnership Grant funds in the amount of $30,512 from the Office of Homeland Security, Georgia Emergency Management Agency. Ms. Dunnigan. Or is someone else taking this?
Yeah, I will be taking that. This is Monica Harden. We applied for this grant and it's going to support the EMA's director's salary. It does have a dollar for dollar match, but that match was budgeted ahead of time. So we are in good standing, and this is a federal grant. They just give that money to GEMA, and then GEMA, puts out this solicitation.
Wonderful. Well, that's good stuff to hear. Commissioners, any comments or questions?
No, sir. I got a motion.
Go ahead. I want one question. Ms. Harden, do you know on this particular grant, does this have anything to do with NIMS, the way that NIMS is operated in our community?
No, this really just goes to support the his or her salary. Yes.
Okay. All right, you have a motion?
Yeah, I'm lost now. Hold on.
Go ahead, Cap. Did you have a question?
No.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the 2021 Performance Partnership Grant funds in the amount of $30,512 from the Office of Homeland Security, Georgia Emergency Management Agency.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes, second.
Item 15, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? We'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 15 passes 3-0. Item 16, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve FY 2021 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant Program and amend the Police Department's FY 22 budget by increasing revenues and expenditures in the amount of $13,750 each, subject to the approval of the county attorney. Ms. Dunnigan.
Commissioners, I will be taking that one as well. This is Monica Hardin. So we applied for the 2021 Bulletproof Vest Grant to the Department of Justice. This was approved. So in some, this one does also have a 50% local cash match, but the police department is able to meet that. So all in all, it is a total project cost of about $26,000 to purchase vest for police officers.
All right, any questions or comments, gentlemen?
No, sir.
Commissioners, this is Will Worley. As I understand it, there's no contract or anything with this grant, so you don't need the language subject to the attorney approval of the county attorney in your motion.
All right, did you hear that, Commissioner Polsky?
Say again. I missed it, David. I'm sorry.
He's saying because of the, go ahead, Will, explain it again.
Yeah, as I understand it, there is no grant contract with this item. So there's nothing for our office to approve, so you don't need the subject to the approval of the county attorney in your motion.
Okay. All right, are we
Have
ready?
a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the FY 2021 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant Program and amend the Police Department's FY 22 budget by increasing revenues and expenditures in the amount of $13,750 each.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, and a question. Is Ricky still on? Okay, on.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
On these vests coming in and cameras and so forth like these, are these like replacement vests we'll use or for expanded inventory or what? I'm just curious.
No, sir, these will be replacement vests. The vests usually have a 5-year life on them, and some of them are starting to expire, and these just will replace those.
Okay. And we're putting cameras on all vests now, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Every officer is issued a body camera as well as in their vehicle. They have a vehicle camera as well.
Okay. Thanks. I just like the public to hear that and criminals to hear that. All right,
so we had a motion, and Commissioner Fendig, did you give a second on that?
I did. Give a second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner on item 16, a motion by Commissioner Rafalski and a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, do I have, we'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn? Yes. Item 16 passes 3-0. Item 17, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept and approve the 2021 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Program, JAG, offered by the Department of Justice, DOJ, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance in the amount of $19,026 federal grant dollars to purchase equipment for the Glen County Police Department and increase the police department's FY 22 revenues and expenditures in the amount of $19,026. Ms. Harden, are you doing this also?
Yes, sir. So we applied for this grant during the summer, and we were notified of award. Grant starts October 1st, which kind of falls with the federal grant cycle. This one does not have a match, local of any kind, in kind or cash. And it is to support the police department with supplies and equipment.
Okay, and did we budget that as when we were doing our budget for the police department? Is this would be a grant that we'd receive, or is this in addition to what we had originally budgeted?
This is in addition to.
Okay. Do we have any other comments or questions, commissioners? Do I have a motion?
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept and approve the 2021 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Program offered by the Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Justice Assistance in the amount of $19,026 federal grant dollars to purchase equipment for the Glen County Police Department and increase the department's FY22 revenues and expenditures budget in the amount of $19,026.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Item 17, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? Roll call, Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 17 passes 3-0. Item 18, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners amend the FY22 budget to include the listed prior year budgeted revenues and expenditures that were not completed in FY21. Ms. Munson.
Yes, Commissioners. We have been working hard to bring forward the carry forward list to you earlier in the year. And this year we brought that list forward in September. There were a few lagging grant and project items that weren't quite worked out by then. So this is to wrap those up and finish the cleanup on that year-end carry forward for FY21 items.
All right, so we're just cleaning up FY21, correct? Final cleanup on it?
Yes, so if there are but revenues or expenditures that are not completed in the FY21 budget, we carry that budget forward to FY22. So that's what this item does.
All right, Commissioners, any other comments or questions?
No, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners amend the FY22 budget to include the listed prior year budgeted revenues and expenditures that were not completed in FY21.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Item 18 has a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 18 passes 3-0. Item 19, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to amend the FY21-22 budget. Ms. Munson.
Yes, this is our quarterly budget resolution that we bring forward to you. Most of these items have already been approved separately by the commission, but we do a summary at the end of each quarter just so we have it all in one motion.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
No, sir.
All right, do I have a motion?
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to the amendment and to amend the FY21-22 budget.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, item 19 is a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 19 passes 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Munson. Item 20, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the intergovernmental rental agreement between Glen County, Georgia and the State Properties Commission acting on behalf of the Georgia Department of Public Safety regarding the property located at 160 Carl Alexander Way, Brunswick, Georgia. Ms. Dunnigan, is she here to have that?
Yes, this is me this time. Monica
Okay.
just takes care of the grants that she pulls in. This is just basically a renewal. It has been redone this year, but that mostly it's just the contractual language, and it has been approved. Obviously, it was rewritten by our legal department, but the rental payments are $10 for the year, and they go from now until June 30th of 2029 with the Georgia Department of Public Safety for the Georgia State Patrol out there on Carl Alexander Way. And this is just a renewal of that.
All right, Commissioners, any comments or questions?
Tamara, that doesn't include the DOT's portion, just the State Patrol?
That's correct. This is just for the State Patrol.
Okay, so the DOT's separate?
I will have to look into that one with the attorney's office, but my understanding is this is not a part of that lease.
Okay, thank you.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the intergovernmental rental agreement between Glen County Georgia, and the State Properties Commission acting on behalf of the Georgia Department of Public Safety regarding the property located at 160 Carl Alexander Way, Brunswick, Georgia.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have, this item 20, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call the roll. Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 20 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Item 21, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve officials agreement with the Gold Coast Officials Association, provide officiating services for Glen County Recreation and Parks Youth Basketball Games for the 2021-2022 season, in the amount not to exceed $12,000, with funding provided by the FY 2022 operating budget. Ms. Kurganis.
Hey, good afternoon, Commissioners. Lisa Kurganis. We bring this to you guys every sports season with the officials agreement for our sport that's coming up, and it's basketball this time. We've used this company, this association, for several seasons. They do a great job. We are expecting, I think we've got about 520 kids registered for the basketball program, about 64 teams. And so we're just asking you guys to enter into this agreement so we can use this company to schedule the officials for these games. And I'm here for any questions you may have.
Commissioners, any questions or comments? Do I have a motion? Walter, I believe you're muted.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the officials agreement with Gold Coast Officials Association to provide officiating services for Glen County Recreation and Parks Youth Basketball Games for 2021 season in the amount not to exceed $12,000, with funding to be provided by the FY 22 operating budget.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, item 21, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call the roll. Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 21 passes 3-0. Item 22, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Miracle Recreation Equipment Company using the Sourcewell Competitive Contract Purchasing Program to purchase and install playground equipment at Glen Haven Park in the amount of $52,909.93, with funding provided by the District 2 project account of the Capital Projects Fund. Ms. Kurganis.
Yes, Commissioners, we're bringing this to you today to seek approval to execute the Sourcewell contract and issue a purchase order to purchase this equipment for Glen Haven Park. This was at the request of Commissioner Fendig, and the design that is planned for Glen Haven Park is one that would match the playground that was installed at Polk Park back in 2019. And then the funding for this project is proposed to be the District 2 capital allocation.
All right, Commissioners, any comments?
No, sir. I'm glad to see this park moving along. I
Certainly
move to
agree.
recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize the issuance of a purchase order to the Miracle Recreation Equipment Company using the Sourcewell Competitive Contract Purchasing Program to purchase and install playground equipment at Glen Haven Park in the amount of $52,909.93, with funding to be provided by the District 2 project account of the Capital Funds project.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Happy second.
All right, we have a motion on item 22 from Commissioner Rafalski, a second Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll take a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig,
Happy yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 22 passes 3-0. Item 23, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Miracle Recreation Equipment Company using the Sourcewell Competitive Contract Purchase Program to replace the climber and merry-go-round with new play equipment and to install a 16 by 24 picnic pavilion at Brunswick Villas Madge Merritt Park in the amount of $80,291.13, and allocate up to $19,708.87 to develop ADA parking and access to the pavilion, and to create a reflection area in memory of Ahmaud Arbery for a project total of $100,000, with all funding provided by the District 5 project account of the Capital Projects Fund. Ms. Gerganis.
Thanks, Commissioner. So this request is coming at the request of Commissioner Alan Booker. We're bringing it forward to seek approval to proceed with some park improvements at the Badge Merritt Park. As you described in the agenda item, the project includes several pieces of playground equipment, a picnic pavilion, parking, access to the pavilion, and a future reflection area in memory of Mr. Arbery. So,
all right, Commissioners, any comments or questions? Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize the issuance of a purchase order to Miracle Recreation Equipment Company using the Sourcewell Competitive Contract Purchase Program to replace the climber and merry-go-round with new play equipment and install a 16 by 24 picnic pavilion at Brunswick Villas Badge Merritt Park in the amount of $80,291.13 and allocate up to $19,708.87 to develop the ADA parking and access to the pavilion to create a reflection area in memory of Ahmaud Arbery for a project total of $100,000, with all funding to be provided by the District 5 project account of the Capital Projects Fund.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Happy second.
All right, we have a motion on item 23. We have a motion from Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call the roll. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes. Happy
Commissioner O'Quinn? Yes. Item 23 passes 3-0. Item 24, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners reject all bids received for the North Glen Batting Pavilion, IFB 22010, revise the scope of work and rebid the project. Ms. Gerganis.
Yeah, Commissioners, earlier this summer, the Board of Commissioners did approve initiating a process to issue an invitation for bids for a covered batting pavilion at North Glen Recreation Complex. The intended funding source for the project was Capital Projects Fund District 3 capital allocation. We worked with the design team, came up with construction documents, and put the item out for bid. The 3 bids were received for the project earlier in November, and all of the bids were significantly higher than anticipated. And because of that, then we are just bringing this forward to reject all the bids, revise the scope of work for the project, and then rebid the project.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
No, sir.
All right, I have a motion.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners reject all bids received for the North Glen Batting Pavilion, IFB 22010, revise the scope of work and rebid the project.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Item 24 has a motion from Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
We'll call the roll. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn? Yes. Item 24 passes 3-0. Item 25, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners award a contract for IFB number 22004 Blythe Island Regional Park Campground electrical upgrades to HDI Power and Controls, LLC, in the amount of $270,500 of funding provided by the Capital Projects Fund District 1 capital allocation. Ms. Gerganis.
Yes, Commissioners, again, in the summer, the Commissioners approved issuing a bid for the campground electrical upgrades and repairs at Blythe Island Regional Park, with the intended funding source for the project to be the District 1 capital allocation. Our staff worked with our facilities maintenance division, primarily Mr. John Smith, Dave Carver, Dave Deloach, and some of those folks, to develop the scope of work needed for the campground repairs and upgrades. focusing on sites, the RV sites numbers 41 through 70. We issued bids based on the scope of work provided by these gentlemen, and received one bid for the project from HDI Power and Controls LLC of Screven, and the Blythe Island Regional Park Advisory Board does continue to support moving this project forward, and recommends that the Board of Commissioners move in this direction, although only one bid was received. And we are just bringing this forward for your consideration today. And if you do have any technical questions regarding the project, Mr. Smith, John Smith with the Facilities Maintenance Division of Public Works is here with me in my office today and can answer any technical questions if you have any.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
Mr. Smith, is all this new work, will it be done in conduit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything will be laid in PVC, Schedule 40.
Okay, and we're getting new pedestals?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll be all new pedestals, and we are upgrading from a 400 amp service to a 1200 amp service. Right now, we have 5 sites on one breaker, which is 5 30 amp sites on a 100 amp breaker. And we will be moving that over to 2 sites per 100 amp breaker, which will be 2 50 amp campsites. So the campsites will be moving from 30 amp to 50 amp, which you can still do 30 or 50 per campsite.
The pedestal has 2 110s, a 30 and a 50.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has the capability to do the 50 or the 30 amp.
I can understand now why we had air conditioners getting burnt out there now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm good, David.
We have a motion.
Yes, sir. I move to recommend.
Commissioner Fendig, did you want to say something? No,
I mean, these are long overdue upgrades needed for the camp out there, and electrical is number one problem we keep having until we get it upgraded.
Yeah,
sure.
I would have liked to have seen more than one bid, but I understand how times are too. You ready?
I apologize for interrupting, but I did want to mention that we have cleared the campsites for January, February, and into early March, into mid-March for the work to be done. And the vendor has confirmed that if the contract is awarded to them, that they would be able to meet that time frame. So it will impact our revenues a little bit during that time frame, but they assure me that they'll do their best to get the work done as quickly as possible so that we can get those sites fixed and back up and running as soon as possible in the new year.
Yes, ma'am. You ready, David?
Yeah.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners award the contract IFB number 22004 Blythe Island Regional Park Campground electrical upgrades to HDI Power and Controls LLC in the amount of $270,500 with funding to be provided by the Capital Projects Fund District 1 capital allocation.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, item 25, a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion? No, we'll call the roll. Commissioner Rafalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig.
Another happy yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 25 passes 3-0.
Thank you, commissioners. I'm going to head off to the Glen County Stadium and watch our All-Stars play. Hope y'all can join us if you have time later. Thank you.
Good luck to those young men.
Item 26, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners award the first-year contract for Countywide Facilities Pest Control Service to Knox Pest Control Company from Brunswick, Georgia, in the amount of $5,400, with funding to be provided by Public Works Department Facilities Division operating budget. Mr. Austin.
Yes, Commissioners, this is the first year option for the pest control contract. Knox won it last year. We had 2 firms that competed, and the we have that we've been using for the last 5 years. These roads have been analyzed by Public Works, and it's about 14 miles worth of road. When the commission approves this, if and when the commission approves this, it goes to GDOT, they approve it, and then we put it out for bid in January. And you have a list of roads on this sheet.
Commissioners, any questions or comments?
Just that this amount will pave about 14 miles of road, Dave. That's what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
14.5 says, yes, sir.
Dave, we normally do some of this through SPLOST too, don't we?
We have been using the SPLOST match and more. So yes, if you look at the SPLOST, you look at all the resurfacing, we've done about $17 million worth of resurfacing in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah. So without the SPLOST, we have to fund it locally, moreover than with the tax. So I guess my point is the SPLOST helps get the roads in better shape, right?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the SPLOST 2016 had almost $12 million worth of resurfacing in it. It had the $1.8 million for Frederica Road. We had $10 million for neighborhood. We did Demery Road, and we also did Newcastle.
What's the motto, Dave? Smooth roads and clean ditches.
That's right. Smooth roads and clean ditches.
I'm ready, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead. It's your show. Go ahead.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve the Glen County 2022 LMIG suggested list of roads and bridges as the Georgia Department of Transportation 2022 LMIG project. Authorize Glen County Commission chairperson to sign the 2022 LMIG agreement on behalf of Glen County, and authorize staff to issue an invitation for bid once the application has been approved by GDOT, with funding to be provided by GDOT Capital Projects Funds and SPLOST 2016.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Item 31 has a motion by Commissioner Rafalski, a second by Commissioner Fendig. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
We have a roll call. Commissioner Rafalski?
Yes.
Commissioner Fendig?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Quinn, yes. Item 31 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, any items that you want to pull off the consent agenda?
I say no,
discussion?
sir. No, sir.
Commissioner
How about you,
Fendig?
Cap?
None from me.
All right, so we'll send this to the Board of Commissioners for approval at the next meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
With one comment.
Sure.
I want to thank the chairman and Commissioner Walter for all the reading they did today. It was a long agenda and a lot of words, and thank you for toting that.
I got a couple of days to heal up.
So I make the second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Rafalski and a second by Commissioner Fendig to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.